But African Americans have no doubt that they really mean it because we've seen this movie before. We know they're coming for real. They are attacking our rights and they are trying to set us backwards. That's the situation. Now, we have an opportunity as African American senior voters here in Texas because we are large in numbers, particularly in some strategic counties in the state of Texas. In Dallas County, for example, African Americans are nearly 24% of the voters. In Harris County, they're more than 20% of the voters. In Tarrant County, they're nearly 19% of the voters. And there are many other counties where African Americans are an important part of the voting population. If we can leverage that voting population to turn out in large numbers in 2022, we can make a critical change in this state and in this country. And that's what we need to do. Now, what should we do? Some of the things that I think we need to focus on is we need to get our families involved in voting. We have to make sure that many of us, we're seniors, so a lot of us have children or grandchildren. We have to make sure all of them get out to vote. Something that I like to do, I call it checking the family franchise. The franchise is an old-fashioned word for the vote. And what I encourage people to do is say 60 days before it's time for an election, go there and check and make sure all your family members are registered to vote. Basically all you need is their birth date and what zip code they live in. If you got their name, their birth date, and zip code, you can check to see if they're registered on the Texas Secretary of State website. So I did that a few years ago and found that my son had been purged from the voting rolls. And I was able to get my son re-registered in time so that he could successfully vote in the 2018 election. So that's the kind of thing you can do. In addition, vote by mail. Many of us are 65 or older. We can vote by mail. We're the only people in the state who are allowed to do that. We strongly urge people to vote by mail. And finally, if you can do it, volunteer to work the polls, work as an election clerk, as an election judge. That will help other people vote, and that can be a powerful contribution. Those are some of the things that I recommend that we do. Now turn to our next panelist, Ermeline.
Anyway, I am so pleased that we have people talking about the senior vote, because it is one that would be game-changing if we could. I think that we all need to see how many people are wanting to vote at home and do that. And as far as the you can get your ballot if you're 65 and older, but you can also have a disability, not one claimed by a doctor, not one, it can be your disability, and they cannot question it because of privacy issues. So a lot of people who are not quite 65 or have some difficulty, they have headaches or whatever, they can also vote by mail. So, and that's what I feel that would I mean, they lost 25,000 votes in Texas because they've done the application wrong. The state has changed, that HSB1 has changed everything around so much. So if you don't get it exactly right, they throw your ballot back. Now, the law says that they have to contact you. But that's only, it's nothing enforced. Some people don't contact. So we're in a situation that we have to educate people before they do their mail ballot.